The Syrians were enemies of Israel, and they really wanted to kill all of God's people. God knew the secret plans of the enemy, and he gave the prophet Elisha the ability to hear every part of their evil plan. Every time the Syrians made a move, the Israelites were able to avoid the king's traps. Every time the Israelites escaped, the king became more and more angry. He even thought that his most trusted servants might be working against him, so he asked, "Which one of you is a spy?" One of his servants said, "None of us. It is Elisha, that prophet in Israel. He tells the king of Israel everything, even the exact words you speak in your bedroom." The king was so mad. "Go find out where he is." When the king of Syria found out where Elisha was staying, he sent a large number of men with weapons, chariots, and horses after him. In the middle of the night, the soldiers surrounded the city. When Elisha's servant stumbled out of his tent early the next morning, he couldn't believe his eyes. "I must be dreaming," he thought anxiously to himself. Everywhere he looked, there were enemy soldiers and horses. They were completely surrounded. His heart sank in fear. "Elisha!" he cried, running back inside. "The enemy is here. What are we going to do?" Elisha could see how scared his servant was. "Don't worry," Elisha said calmly. "There are more mighty warriors fighting with us than all of those against us." The servant saw nothing but the enemy, so Elisha prayed to God, "Please open my servant's eyes so that he can see." The Lord opened the eyes of his servant, and all at once he saw a heavenly army of horses and chariots of fire. They were not alone after all. The armies of God were there to protect them, but the Syrians could not see that God was fighting against them, and they charged toward the prophet and his men. Elisha continued to pray, "Please, Lord, make the enemy unable to see." So God blinded the Syrians as Elisha had asked, and they stumbled around in confusion. Elisha said to the Syrians, "Let me lead you to the man you are looking for." Then he led them to the king of Israel in Samaria, where they became his prisoners. At the advice of Elisha, the king of Israel showed them mercy and had a huge dinner for them, where they ate and drank. Then he let them go free. After this, the Syrians gave up their attacks on Israel.